Hello, you guys. I was just sitting here thanking God and just for everything that He's done for me in my life. And I only share what God leads me to share because a lot of times we get off of focus. You know, and I think everybody has gone through this. You worry about the followers, the views, the subscribers. You worry about all these things instead of focusing on the main thing, you know, the purpose that God has called you to do, whatever it is, and that maybe you are helping one person, one soul. He left 1,000 to go back to get that one. And I was just sitting here thinking about how I've always been a giver, a helper. And I was just sitting here thinking, I took care of my sister in my early 20s when she was sick and God healed of that. But then I went back to think, when my mom and dad went through the divorce, I was always, I was taking care of my sister as a teenager, as a child, protective over her because my aunt had a club and, it had a lot of men's always around. And so I was always protected, and even with family that, mistreated us. And I was always overprotective. So I've been taking care of people since I was a teenager. And I was just sitting here thanking God. With everything that I've been through, God has been so good. He's been so good to me. And that's why I don't care what nobody say. And I'm telling you, when I was raised in the church, but I didn't understand the power of the Holy Spirit, the power of God, until one day when those peoples, they was shouting and falling out in the church, and I said in my mind that they was faking and that they was playing with God and they better quit it. And that lady told us to close our eyes. And I closed my eyes. I was in the front row. And I said in my mind, I say, she better not touch me. I'm not playing. I say, they faking, playing with God. She better not touch me. And that woman, even with my eyes closed, I could feel her hand go like this. She didn't touch me, y'all. But she did this. And the fire of God hit me like never before. I had never felt that. So can't nobody tell me. Oh, can't nobody tell me that God is not real. And my life has never been the same. I woke everybody up. I went home. I woke everybody up in the house. I needed to know what was that fire. What was that? So I began to dig deeper in God. Now I understand my daddy didn't want me to shack up in his house. I didn't understand why he didn't want me to. I was, young and mad with him. But I just sit here to say all that. I thank God. Even in the toughest times, He has been there for me. And He's carried me. Man, let me tell y'all, I went through, when my sister was sick in the 20s. Man, that was one of the hardest times of my life. I had my kids and her kids. There was 6 kids that I was taking care of. Then my mom was on drugs. I was taking care of her. God kept me. He kept me. He was faithful. He delivered my mom from drugs. Before she even had the stroke, my mama had been delivered 20 years. I'm thinking. He healed my sister. My sister died 2 years ago, but it wasn't what she was sick for, in her 20s. And I'm just so grateful. And I thought I thought that was the hardest thing that I could ever go through. Then my kid's father committed suicide. That was harder because my kids was young, so they was hurting, and it made me hurt, and I was angry with him. But God kept me, you guys. I was going through, but it was up under the bottom of my feet. I had joy, even in the midst of my pain. And that's how God was continuing to anoint me. And I'll never forget this one woman she's asked me, did I have problems? And I'm like, yes, yes, because she never, they didn't see the pain, that on me. They knew I was going through something, but they didn't see it on me. Like, you could be going through something and a person can look at you and tell that you are going through. But she couldn't tell. And I told her, yes, ma'am, I go through. God just keeping me. It's up under the bottom of my feet. It don't have me. But I wanted to come on and encourage you guys to keep going. I know it's hard. I know it's heavy. And I know sometimes you may not understand what God is doing. But God is doing something. He's real. Whoever don't believe, it's been times where I didn't believe. I even have a dream one time with God. It was this light that hit me right here. Some dreams I could never forget. I'm a dreamer. And I used to want to find out what was that. That was the best feeling ever. Man, I'm telling you, it was a whole dream. I have to come back and tell y'all the whole story. But it was the best feeling ever. And some people say I had an encounter from God. I don't know. But I knew I could see the light. And it's like the light was strong. A ball of light was strong, and it hit me right here. And when it did, I was asleep, you guys. But when it did, I did like this. The best feeling ever. So the main reason I wanted to come on and I heard the Lord say do this video is because, I didn't want you all to see this, part of me, especially, dealing with this allergic reaction. And if I start crying and stuff, I just, because I do, I have a little makeup on it, and I didn't want it to come off and all that type of stuff, but I don't care, I want to be naked and not ashamed. God want people to be authentic and real, and He said to make it. And so, because I know that somebody, whoever watch it to the end, need this, and I'm gonna be obedient because I know God is a healer. And He's the same yesterday, today, forevermore. You just keep trusting Him. Keep trusting God. No matter what. No matter how the enemy try to make it look. No matter, I'm telling you, you're going to look back at whatever you're going through, and you're going to thank God that you went through it. Because it's whatever you're going through is that is what's going to make you strong. It's going to anoint you. And it's going to get you to the next level. Keep trusting God. Don't give up and don't give in. Excuse me, you guys. My stomach, I guess I'm hungry. But I went through that storm with my sister for 5 years, you guys. Maybe 5.5. It was so long. It was so long. When the phone would ring, my stomach would just turn up in knots. Because I knew it was her on the other side calling me. I had to leave work. A lot of things I had to do. But God did that thing. He fixed it. He healed. And He worked it out. I love you guys to life. You be encouraged. Keep praising God and keep thanking Him. Remember to smile, love, and forgive. God bless.